Welcome to Draw One Last Breath Horror Podcast. My name's Matt.
I'm Butch.
And according to the transcript, I'm Johnny Paul.
Hello, Johnny Paul.
Welcome to episode 175. On this episode, we have been to the cinema to watch The Monkey, and our movie from the vault is Wishmaster. How are you guys doing?
I like free witches.
Very well. All good, mate. All good.
Yeah. Ploughing my way through third season of Invincible at the moment.
Oh, you're going straight in, have you? You're straight and dive in. What you've been watching there?
Yeah, that's what I've been up to.
No introduction.
Nobody asked.
I'm just going to tell you everything.
Yep, just going to keep going on.
Yellow Jackets.
Yellow Jackets, I haven't watched that yet, no.
You want to promise tonight, Butch? You're trying to get us out of the way quick so you can get on.
Borderlands, I watched.
Why?
Eli Roth's Borderlands. Why not? Because I got panned, so I wanted to see what the fuss was.
You wanted to waste 2 hours of your life.
You know what? I didn't feel it was a complete waste. It was average, but it's alright. Not terrible. So,
Did you watch any horror?
I did watch The Gorge.
I watched The Gorge as well.
All should have, but obviously Paul hasn't got Apple TV, so that's a shame. But what did you think of it, Matt?
Really liked it. It's just like it was. I don't know. It's just one of those movies where you have to just leave everything at the door and just like let go and just have fun with it. And I just thought it was really good fun. Entertained me the whole way through. Some good effects, good little storyline. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's really good.
Anya Taylor-Joy and Miles Teller. It's on Apple TV, as we said. It's quite creepy in some parts as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, quite edge of the seat. I thought some of the bits. Clever little concept. Nice little twists here and there.
Yeah. And Sigourney Weaver to boot.
Why not, eh? Get away from her, you bitch! Yeah, so there we go. Yeah, that's pretty much it, though. So, yeah. Anyone got some more movies that they've been up to?
Go on, Jordy Paul. I'm sure you've watched plenty of crap on the bus.
I've been up and down that bus like a hose draws.
Back of the bus, obviously.
Yeah, back of the bus. Watching all these horrible films. Yeah, so I have watched quite a few bits and bobs. So I finally sat down with my two children and watched Ghostbusters, which was a bit of a risk because they can be a bit sensitive, but they absolutely loved it.
Very cool.
Just don't show them number 2 though, because about the severed heads on the pike.
Yeah, it's about
my little girl. Oops.
They so I did like a kind of a double bill, Ghostbusters, and then went at the Goonies, and I forgot how much sweat words were in Goonies, so I was like, I better turn this off because I'm pushing me little Ghostbusters. Turn it off. Yeah, but no, they really enjoyed it. Obviously, I've never seen it for a while, so yeah, loved it. Then I went down a bit of a rabbit hole with dodgy found footage films. So there's one popped up on Amazon Prime called Horror in the High Desert.
Okay.
And I kind of just stuck it on because it's got like sequels to it, so I thought, well, there must be something about it. And it was just a bit shit, guys, if I'm honest. There was the premise around it was really weird, and the main actor was really strange. And it was all like based on a true story. And it was like obviously a documentary about some guy who disappeared in the desert and what was his story. But there wasn't really a lot of his story. At the start, it was a bit like, oh, viewer discretion is advised, right? So I was a bit like, oh, well, there might be a decent payoff. There was a couple of bits at the end which I thought were quite good, but it was all in all just a bit flat and a bit let down. For the whole film, I could have watched it in about 2 minutes and had the same impact. So yeah, it wasn't great. And then in the comments when I was reading about it, someone said, "Oh, it's not as good as I think it wants to be." This film. So I searched this one down, and this was actually on YouTube called Savage Land. You heard about this?
No.
So this is a found footage film, basically without any found footage. And let me explain. It's basically about a town that the whole town is murdered in one night, and there's one survivor who's found, and he obviously is arrested and pinned the murders. And then it's like the story, it's kind of like the documentary about what he was he guilty or not? And then he basically, during this night of like craziness, had a camera and he was taking like Polaroid pictures of like the night unfolding. So you don't really see much camera footage, but you see a lot of like photographs. And I don't really want to spoil it. It's on YouTube. That's the only way I could see it. But it was all right. It was all right. And then like it's got quite a good little end where you're like, oh Jesus. But yeah, so okay. Not as good as obviously your really good fan footage films, but worth a watch. And then I would dive deep into Shudder. So I watched a film called The Soul Eater. It was on Shudder.
Okay.
French kind of deals with like a rundown French village who's like on its sort of arse, and it's kind of like deals with this like local legend of the Soul Eater who comes and takes children, and it kind of sets itself up to be a bit of a horror film, but it's not. It's more of a crime drama, to be honest. It deals with like sex trafficking kids and all this type of stuff. So, but it's a decent like crime drama, to be fair. So it was all right, middle of the road, but had some decent like a couple of little creepy bits in it. So worth a watch. There was one dropped, a new one called Little Bites.
Yeah, I wanted to watch that one. I didn't get around to it.
So this one's a weird one. It's produced. It's the type of film I would expect to see at Fright Fest, if I'm honest. Like, it's produced by the one and only Cher, which is random.
That's the believe. You mean I believe in love?
Yeah, that one.
Really?
And it stars, I think, the mum from Terrifier 3, or the auntie from Terrifier 3. She's in Terrifier 3. I just can't remember which one she is. But yeah, it's kind of like a. I don't really want to. I won't go into the details of it, but it's basically about the plot is there's a woman who is living in a house and she has essentially a monster in the basement, right? Who has been kept alive by eating her bit by bit, like taking chunks out of her. And essentially, yeah,
no
like.
way. Sorry to bust in, but it's actually directed by Spider-One. Like he's massively into his horror, and he used to be he's been in lots of bands and stuff.
Yeah, it's got Barbara Crampton's in it for a cameo. The woman who plays the nun is in it.
Right. Okay.
Bonnie. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, she's unfortunate because like she just looks like the nun. But yeah, so I don't know, guys. I thought there was a couple of creepy bits in it, but I was ultimately let down by the premise of it. When you get into it's a talky film. There's kind of theories around it and stuff, and I kind of latched onto a theory, and I don't think the payoff really worked, but. It's definitely worth a watch to talk about it, but yeah, it's interesting. It's not kind of what you think it's going to be. And then lastly, guys, I watched a film which I have been looking at for years, and I've never watched it, and I always was intrigued by the DVD cover. And it's a French film again called Calvary, I'm saying that wrong in French, but it translates in English as The Ordeal.
Okay.
And it's like like High Tension and
yeah.
You like it's kind of along the same lines, and it's quite it's not as good, and it's a very slow burn, but when it kicks off, it fucking kicks off. It's definitely worth a watch. It's about again an entertainer who gets basically lost. His van breaks down the middle of the French countryside, and he gets towed to this inn with a slightly odd innkeeper, and then shit goes down. And like I said, it takes a while to get there, but the last fucking 15-20 minutes are fucking brutal, and it's like French extreme, and you're like, whoa.
Where's that?
That's on Shudder.
Oh, okay.
That's on Shudder, so definitely worth a watch. Yeah, that was me, so quite a lot.
Good work. Matt, what have you been doing, man?
Why do I not feel like I've seen that film? It's called Calvary.
Yeah, so I think you've probably seen it in the shop, Matt. It's got like a red cover. And it's called The Ordeal. It's been around like in world cinema sections for years, and I've always thought I'm going to watch that one day, and I never did. And when I got it up on Shudder,
is there a bit of a gunfight at the end, like
villages?
I don't know. I feel like I've seen that film, the way you explained it, but I don't know if I have.
There is a bit of a gunfight at the end, Matt.
Yeah, that sounds like I've seen that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, that's really weird. Just quickly, going back on what you're saying about that Little Bites film, that's Spider-1, I just looked him up. Spider-1, he used to be in the rock band Power Man 5000, but he's the younger brother of Rob Zombie. I didn't even know that.
Wow.
But yeah, he's been on a few podcasts I listen to and stuff. But yeah, seems cool. I might go check that out. I've watched The Gorge, obviously. The only other thing that I want to talk about is that I saw a little clip of a film on TikTok, and I thought that looks really cool. And it was somebody sorry, forgive me, I can't remember who it was that posted it, but it was about a movie, kind of short movie. It's only 37 minutes long, called Dirty Jersey. Have you guys heard of this?
No.
That's in the place Jersey. So Dirty Jersey, it was made in 2023. It's on YouTube, totally free. Have a look at the poster because it looks really cool. But there was just a quick snippet of a creature in it that I saw, and I thought, I really want to check that out. So it's by a director called David Keane. He's not done loads of stuff, but he's done quite a few other kind of low budget stuff. He's quite an indie filmmaker. But you've got to go and check it out. So it's won a few awards, been nominated for Smodcastle Film Festival, which is Kevin Smith's obviously place, and then it's got it had a Best Practical Blood Effect award from Hollywood Horror Fest in 2024. But it's definitely go watch it, because I don't want to say anything about it. But stay with it. It's 37 minutes, literally. It's really, really good.
Where can you watch it?
YouTube, totally free.
Dirty Jersey. Okay.
Yeah. I really, really thought it was great. It's a really, really cool little kind of horror film that I can see easily you could make a full-length movie of it. So yeah, go check it out. Really, really good. Well worth the time. Should we get on some news?
Let's do it, man. I ain't got much. I mean, I've seen a few snippets about what's coming on. I see there's a new season of Black Mirror coming on later on in the year.
Cool.
That's ramping up. And announced the other day, I saw a little poster for Evil Dead Born that's coming out in autumn 2026.
Ooh.
Yeah, I do think it's got a director. I think it's got a director attached to it as well. But I can't for the life of me remember his name. Evil Dead Born. Sounds like pretty cool poster. I mean, you know, the last ones have been pretty good.
Cool. I've got a bit. Have you seen the images coming from Blumhouse's TV show called The Bondsman?
No.
Nope.
Oh, guys, this could be really good. I mean, it could be shit, but it could be really good. So it's starring the one and only Kevin Bacon. And basically the premise of it is he dies and is resurrected by the devil to capture demons on Earth who have escaped from hell. So obviously we watch a lot of demon stuff and we see it, and demons are kind of being let loose on the Earth, you kind of say, from the devil. But this is a different take on it. They actually get out. They're sort of kept in prison in hell, and they kind of get out to cause havoc, and he's like essentially a bondsman, so he's bringing them back to jail.
Like Constantine.
Well, essentially, yeah, but it looks quite good. It looks quite practical as well. So yeah, check. There's just screenshots, but it's coming out. It comes out April the 3rd, so there's not long to wait for it.
Is it a movie or a TV show?
TV show. So
TV show, right?
Kevin Bacon, man. I don't know. I'll definitely check it out.
That could be good.
Like the bacon.
You bring home the bacon. Have you guys seen the trailer for Control Freak that's coming to Disney with Kelly Marie Tran in it? The old Star Wars franchise.
No. What's this?
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. The trailer looks, I mean, it doesn't give loads away. It's a pretty long trailer though, to be fair. But, so yeah, it's, I think it's going to be coming to, obviously Disney over here, but it's going to Hulu in America on March the 13th. So it's an original horror called Control Freak, in which star Kelly Marie Tran, is played by a parasite demon. So yeah, directed and written by Shao Nigo, The Box. Control Freak follows a motivational speaker, who is tormented by an unrelating itch on the back of her head, which eventually leads to a terrifying journey. So, could be worth a watch. Don't know when it's going to come over here, though. Hopefully it's around at the same time. Be worth a watch. Looks pretty good. So, yeah. Oh, the only other news I've got, did you see a bit of promotion for The Monkey?
No, go on.
What they did in Hollywood. So they hired a school bus out and they just basically put a load of dead cheerleaders hanging over the side and literally just drove it around Hollywood for the whole day. Which I thought was great marketing kind of hack.
What did you make of the new the film from the guys who the trailer from the guys who did Talk to Me, Bring Her Back? What do you think of that?
Did you put that on the thing?
Yeah, I sent it to you. Did you not watch it?
Yeah, it looks fucking good.
Ooh, yeah, more of that, please. And it's a trailer that doesn't really give a lot away, but it's just quite unsettling at the same time. So, yeah, look at that.
That's interesting.
Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, they've been forced to jump onto a sequel, so that's quite interesting.
And it's the film Sally Hawkins did instead of doing Paddington 3. There you go. That's what it's famous for.
I got some sad news. We have lost a member of Buffy the Vampire Slayer cast. That was a big part of my teenage years. Love a bit of Buffy. She's also star of, she was in the remake of Black Christmas. Michelle Trachtenberg, we lost her this week, so it's pouring out. We also lost Gene Hackman.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that. I mean, yeah, that's very sad. And I mean, he's got a horror connection as well, which was in Young Frankenstein, so that's related to horror. Don't care what you say. But he's done some obviously amazing films. He was great in Young Frankenstein. But yeah, that's a big, big gut punch as well. Yeah, sad, bad week for losing people.
Yeah.
But, they've left a legacy. So, you can reach for your Buffy box at any time you want. And then Gene Hackman's got some absolute bouters as well.
Yeah.
Gone but not forgotten.
My girl watched the first Superman movie.
Yeah.
Or the first two.
Great, he's great. And literally, I've not seen a crap Gene Hackman film so far.
Superman 4 Request for Peace. Just him.
Sorry?
Superman 4 Request for Peace. But we'll let him on that one.
Okay.
Rest in peace, Gene.
Not his fault.
Yeah. Alright then, guys. We got all the news?
Yeah, that's all from me.
Alright, let's get on to our main review.
For the longest time, there was nothing. But then, it appeared. A beast not from this earth. Smiting the ones who deserved it. The ones who didn't. And everyone in between. Whoever controls it controls life and death. And those deaths are really fucked up.
Holy sh! Everybody dies. And that's life.
It's a goddamn mess in there. Have you been up there? It's like that restaurant. Spaghetti City.
Everything okay up there?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Come on, baby, let's have some fun.
Okay, so this episode, we have all been to the cinema to see the latest film from Osgood Perkins, his second film. Obviously, of the success of the smash that was Longlegs. And this is based on a Stephen King short story, and it is The Monkey. Yeah, and I did say it, Geordie. So, The Monkey Lake. So when twin brothers find a mysterious wind-up monkey, a series of outrageous deaths tear their family apart. 25 years later, the monkey begins a new killing spree, forcing the estranged siblings to confront the cursed toy. So, guys, where do we start?
I mean, okay. Trailer for this and the campaign for this has been incredible. It's really sort of got the juices flowing, but we've sort of kind of saw it in the trailer that there was a lot in that trailer to sort of like really sink your teeth into. It looked fun. They'd pitched it well. So it's kind of like, I feel the first hurdle they'd have to do is how would they sort of get over such a cool trailer? I thought it was quite fun. It was more a film with set pieces in than an altogether piece for me. It had some bits that sort of lagged, maybe drooped a bit in the middle. Some of the bits they focused on, but again, it's an adaptation from a short story, right? So it kind of feels that there was some padding. It felt like that. But the set pieces that they sort of produced, almost like I said to Matt about Thanksgiving last year, where it had some amazing sort of moments. This felt like it had some quality moments, but not a full piece. So yeah, that's how I felt about it.
Yeah, I didn't really like it much. I kind of felt that I could tell it was from a short story, big time. It just didn't, for me, it just like, it started off pretty well and I was really interested and I was intrigued. And then in the middle, I'll be honest, I was nearly falling asleep. I was bored. And then I was like, near the end, I was like, oh, is that the end? Oh shit. And I was just like, oh, that said, there are good things about this movie that, Paul is completely right. The trailer has completely shown absolutely everything, nearly. And there wasn't much left. There were some kind of like pop-up moments that was like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's crazy. That's quite funny. But it just started off real strong. Had a really great cameo from Elijah Wood as well, which I thought he was going to come back in it, but didn't, which was a shame. Yeah, and for me, it just didn't really go anywhere, and yeah, I wasn't a massive fan. Geordie Paul?
Yeah, I agree. I didn't really get on board with it either, which I was really disappointed about, because you know how much I love Longlegs. I mean, look, you've already said it. The trailer destroyed the film, because how good the trailer was, and it did set me up and it got me really excited for the film. But why show all the bits in it? It didn't leave any room for the rest of the film. Because I thought, they're showing us like the crap kills, so when we get to the really good ones, you're going to be like, oh my god, it's building off it. But actually, there was no kind of tension in it whatsoever. Like, even when the ant died was the worst one, because you just knew what was going to happen. So you were just wading through the film. And this film wasn't very long.
No, 98 minutes.
Felt long.
Felt long. And that's a bit of a crime, to be honest. And you're right, Butch. It's a short story, which, whatever they've done to it, they haven't been able to extract much out of the story. And it felt like just a real stretch to get to the end. And it didn't really come up with anything to like pad it out. And then I thought it was just a bit of a weird, obviously it was a horror comedy, but I didn't find it that funny. And then it definitely wasn't very scary or tense. So it kind of just landed somewhere in the middle, because it like kept flipping from funny to, then it tried to go dark, but then it tried to get funny, and then it tried to get dark, and I just don't think it was either really funny. I mean, there was a couple of bits I laughed at, but it didn't, it just sat straight the middle a bit, and I was a bit like, oh no. And to be honest, the main guy in it, who apparently is in the White Lotus, and apparently that's an amazing TV show.
Well, Theo James, so he's the guy from the Gentleman TV series as well.
Yeah,
which was
really
fucking
good.
Outstanding. He's really good.
He just really annoyed me, and to be honest, when he played his brother at the end, I kind of felt like I was watching Flight of the Conchords. Do you not get that? It was a bit weird. It just, yeah.
They kind of made him different for different sake, didn't they? It's like, well, we have to make him completely different. And it's just like,
But you're right. There were good set pieces in it, and there were some great effects in it, and some, yeah, like great
The
kills.
storyline for me was weak. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was like a real poor Final Destination.
if I describe the storyline, I think I'll make it sound quite good, because this is about a wind-up monkey that causes mayhem and
The opening scene.
unpredictable and really sick sort of choices with deaths that just kind of are unconscionable, basically. These twins sort of discover the monkey, who's fucking a great character. The monkey is a great character in this.
The design of it's amazing.
Yeah, and it's sort of like
stolen from Toy Story.
Yeah, and it's sort of you turn the monkey, you turn the key, and he does this weird little thing. Weird little music comes on, and then boom, somebody dies in a weird and wacky way. And they, and the twin, and it sort of spurs the sort of sappier one, Hal, basically tries to kill his brother, who doesn't. They don't get on, and inadvertently, inadvertently, as he turns the key, the mother dies, and Bill is basically distraught for some reason, and blames his brother and tries to fucking kill him in adult life, and that's sort of where we're at, I suppose, in the movie. But the start of it was great, because we had a great little cameo from Adam Scott, right? Petey, the dad. And we were introduced to the monkey in rather a fucking great fashion. So it started off with fucking gumption and pace, I thought.
Yep, totally. I agree with that. And that's where it just fell down, because I thought, we're going to get a really good story here, like really fleshed out, kind of cool kind of story about this monkey. But then I don't want to know where it came from. I don't care about origin story and stuff like that. It doesn't matter. However, there's not really any rhyme or reason to it. So it just randomly kills people. And when does it stop? Because it's like there is a part where they get rid of the monkey and obviously nothing happens for, what was it, like 25 years?
25 years, yeah.
Like, so it just stopped. And then it obviously it comes back into play. And it does it decide when it wants to come back? Because you can't destroy this thing, because no matter what you do, torch it, crush it, smash it, hide it, it just can come back, whatever.
It's a
great idea.
Tales from the Dark Side sort of creep show. Like if you did I don't know if they did this as like part of Creep Show, it would work a fucking treat. Montage after montage of just weird and wacky deaths would be fantastic to watch. But that's why the trailer was so good, because it was a weird and wacky montage of fucking ultra gore, and it looked absolutely fantastic, and it had a real sarcasm to it, but it didn't lay enough out for a full 98 minutes.
I just don't think the characters were likable or kind of like had much to them either. They weren't fleshed out. It's just like, the more sappier twin that, let's be honest, is the lead, as sees his son once a year because he's so worried about maybe killing him because of the monkey. Is that right?
Yes.
But that whole thing doesn't make any sense, because he does a bit of narration around it and says, "This is me now, 25 years later. He's a checkout guy, just a bit of a waster." And he's like, "I've got no family, no friends." And then he's like, "Oh, I see my son once a year." Well, you've got fucking family?
Yeah.
So,
and then,
it's not like there was a close call when he had his son where someone died and he was like, "Oh no, the monkey's back, so I've got to," It was like, "I've got no family." But apart from his storyline.
His son's of an age, his son's like, what, 16 maybe?
Teenager, yeah. But there's no substance between it, because they make this big storyline about how the son is obviously like, "Oh, you just don't want to know me. This is the last trip," or whatever. Then I'm going to get adopted by Elijah Wood's character, and then, but there's no
chemistry.
There's no payoff from, and then there's no chemistry. Yeah,
but,
there's no payoff from it. There's no reason to it. There's no It just,
they don't even get along at the end. It's a bit like, what's the point?
And then it's like, oh, by the way, I've got an uncle, have I? Oh, great, thanks for not telling me about that.
And Matt, you mentioned it. Elijah Wood's probably the best thing in the film, right? Mm-hmm. And I thought his cameo was great, and I just thought, you're definitely dying by the end of this.
That's what I thought. That's like, why.
When it ended,
when it ended when it did, I thought they were going to then use this to kind of go there, and then it didn't go there. And I was like, oh, that's really weird.
I thought Petey was going to get it, and he's like, right, I'm going to sort my life out, and he's going to like turn the key, and then Elijah Wood's going to be like, da, 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 and then he's just going to die, or something. He's going to like crushed by his own books or something like that. I just thought,
or it could have left it there, just hanging.
Yeah.
Like he does it. Oh, there you go, Monkey 2's coming.
But yeah, there was just a lot of that type of oddness, and then obviously, you know, the guy's trying to find the monkey, and then there's that random like kid who's not a kid with the crazy mullet.
Yeah,
in his weird family again. I was like, what?
Basically made him look like the guy from Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
also, they were also like a double take of Bill and Hal, right, as well. So they were sort of like the modern day twinage, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, I suppose. But then it was just a bit like, I don't know, that was weird. Then it's like random shot of his dad in like his kinky police outfit. And the video, it was strange, and it didn't like make any sense to the film. It was just like, why can't you just you've already found your brother, why introduce this character? I mean, to be fair, the way he went out was quite cool.
Yeah.
What about the mum, right? The mum was kind of cool. She was kind of a cool character. I liked her.
Yeah, I agree with that. I thought she was actually one of the better characters, because she was kind of like not the conventional mum, was she? She was a bit kind of like, who gives a fuck? I'm going to tell you everything how it is. I quite liked that. She was like,
how did she die?
Brain aneurysm.
Yeah. Was it a brain? Because they said boomerang in there, and I thought it was like a boomerang something or other, and I'm like, I didn't see a boomerang.
Basically, a brain exploded, Paul. If you want to.
A brain exploded. It's so weird. And then obviously between that, so that's all the shitness out of the movie, the shit bits, and like the whole context of it. But come on, there is some fucking good in there. The monkey itself looked awesome, and they've done a great job with that. The special effects are great in it. The practical special effects, I think they look great. The first death was obviously the shopkeeper, harpooned, and you know, that sort of level of almost Final Destination-esque circumstance to sort of kill. I love the way the monkey did the little thing, and then it sort of some craziness happened. I just thought that was great. Like we're going to get with the, you know, Final Destination Bloodlines or whatever it is later in the year. But there was a lot of like interesting moments, like the uncle, stampeded to death
that was a great bit.
Mush in the sleeping bag. I thought that was fucking great.
That was Osgood Perkins as well, wasn't it?
Yeah. The pool explosion was better on film than it was in the trailer, so that was good. There was a lot more to that, which I'm glad, and that was very explodey. The bees with the guy was fucking gross. So there was some like proper good gross moments. Even the
like the bit where kind of set up the bowling ball thing at the start, when he was hallucinating and dropped the ball. I thought it was quite good at the start.
There are good bits. Definitely, it's like you know, I wouldn't rush to the cinema and watch it, but it's definitely worth a watch when it comes on something for free. But it's just like all those. It's just a real shame, because those are really good bits, and you can get a great special effects artist, and you can get this and that. But if it don't stick the landing, then and don't show so much trailers, it's just like.
Why are they disappearing?
They're ruining it. It's like Sinners as well, man. Like I just feel like there's too much to a trailer. I don't want to watch trailers anymore. I want to arrive after the trailers now, because there's too much to it. And maybe that's the generation that is coming through at the moment, is that they get bums on seats. They need to see that level of excitement. I don't know. Or maybe I just think they're pitching the trailers wrong. Seeing too much.
They're trying to cater for every audience, mate. They're trying to cater for casuals, and what you kind of need is like, I mean, the same kind of criticism has been levelled at Captain America, hasn't it? Whereby I haven't seen it, but the whole film's supposed to be leads up to is a lead up to Red Hulk, but they've used him in the trailer. So you kind of sat around for 2 hours waiting for this thing to happen that you know is going to happen. So actually there's no tension to the film whatsoever. Instead of just leaving it off the marketing campaign, and then it happens in the film, and you run out of the cinema and go, fuck, everyone needs to go and see this film because something happens, I can't tell you, but that's the type of thing where you're like, you know, obviously things like The Monkey, it's trying to get as much in, you know, oh, guess what else will happen? And yeah, other stuff happens that's not in the trailer, obviously. But the stuff that they show is far too good. To be honest, guys, it's like we were talking about Hard Eyes earlier. We haven't seen it yet, but I can imagine one of the best kills in it is shown in the trailer.
I've not seen the trailer, so I haven't.
We'll go on to see it, because it looks like a phenomenal kill. But then,
what I will say,
something happens, and then the same character is in later, and you're like, well, obviously this scene now doesn't mean anything. The tension's gone when I watch this because I know they're going to get away. And it's like,
I'll tell you one film that didn't do that, and I felt that didn't do that, was Smile 2. I think it held back a lot of stuff, and look at that smashed it.
Matt, the irony is, what film did it probably the best kind of marketing I've seen in the past couple of years? Longlegs.
yeah, true.
But she directed.
Rein it back. That's the thing. It's just like.
But how much control do the directors have of this?
They don't have any control. I've heard many people say that once it's gone in the can, that goes to the editor that does the trailers, and they just absolutely flood it. And some people, I just get too excited and put too much. We'll have a teaser, then we'll have a half trailer, then we'll have a full trailer. It's just like, it's too much.
I think what they've done as well is they've gone balls deep in the whole Stephen King, produced by James Wan, from a story by Stephen King. Mm-hmm. And like, because I was talking to a lad at work today, telling him about it, and I was like, oh, because it was good, because it was directed by Osgood Perkins, who I loved Longlegs, I thought it was amazing. And he went, is it directed by him? And this kid knows about films, and he's like, Jesus, I didn't know that. He said, where's that in any of the marketing material? I was like, well, there you go. You see Stephen King's name all over it, but it's got nothing really to do with him apart from writing the story. So, yeah, it's a bit of it's a shame. It's a shame. I mean, look, not to poo-poo totally, it looks beautiful, and like I said, the effects are that good, but if it's got nothing holding it together, it's just a series of scenes.
Yeah.
And I just thought, actors with chemistry, like.
One of the best things, and I think that they did very clever, and they did this so subtly well, is just the subtlety of the monkey. The monkey is just, it doesn't have any expression, but yet they get so much out of it by just they're using the camera in a certain way, and the intensity of the eyes. It's so clever. To the point when, you know, we get to see the monkey drum so frantically, and you don't really know what's going on, because you know, fucking Bill is trying to kill his brother. He's calling the monkey, you know, everything under the sun to say, you're going to kill my brother, for God's sake, you know, all this sort of stuff. And the monkey, he's trying to, you know, really challenge the arm, and we just established that the monkey is just popping people off randomly, and the monkey just does this. It just like goes mental, and you can tell the intensity. He's pissed off. He's like, let's see what happens then, sunshine. And it's like, what the fuck happened? And you don't really you see the aftermath of it, but there's so much intensity in that scene, and I thought that was so cleverly done. I felt really creeped out, and it was a little bit, you know, weird to watch. But then, like the sort of noises in the background, and the town of, you know, some town in Maine. I can't remember what the bloody thing was called. It began with C, you know. But it was just like everything. The whole town's fucked, right? You know, there's planes coming down. There's fucking people blowing up. There's like the cheerleader thing that you said earlier, Matt. It's like happens. One thing I wanted to ask you both.
I think I know what you're going to say. Go on.
What the fuck was the thing on the horse?
The headless, like the horseman guy.
So that was, they quoted it a couple of times in the film. So that was death, essentially. So it's one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. They were quoting it. They quoted a Bible reference, and behold, it's from the Johnny Cash song as well.
The Pale Horseman.
Behold a white horse, and on it rode death, or something like that.
That was
so what?
Weird.
Was it just like death's even like had enough. Is that
I
what
think
it
it was basically just because he like looked at him and go, "What do you want me to do?" Essentially, like, well,
He's worn out.
Working overtime, ain't you? So
Worn out. Yeah.
yeah.
Because he was that's so clever when you just sort of look at it in that perspective. But there wasn't enough of that.
But me and you didn't get it when Paul did. It was just done.
Because I thought that it was a character from the
Scare Place.
The Scare Place. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
So there was no.
Because they quoted it a couple of times in the film. I think a couple of characters say it.
But again, why? Why did he just pop up?
I don't know. Again, I think it was that whole "we own this now," so essentially we own, like, we're in control of death, essentially. Because it was like looking to each other to go like, "Oh my god." Like, for me, it was like, "Jesus, I'm working overtime here. I'm tired."
Yeah. Don't piss that monkey off again.
Yeah, please turn that again.
Has anyone read the short story?
Nope.
I have, but it was years ago.
Okay.
I seem to remember it though. It's not a comedy. It's not a funny story. I think it is a played for scare story.
More like Needful Things sort of thing.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's more like, I think it is more, rather than like a funny sort of vein through it. It's more like, all right, I'm gonna fuck you over here. I'm gonna keep turning this money because I want all my life to be right and stuff. So I think it's like that, but again, I could be wrong. But it's definitely not a comedy story. I think it's in Skeleton Crew. I think the book, the short story.
Yes, it is in that one. Yeah.
So yeah, it's probably worth a reread to see what the difference is. But yeah, I don't think it's a comedy.
So in the book, they go to Crystal Lake. They don't use Crystal Lake in this one. It's definitely something different.
Just couldn't get it right.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I did really enjoy the monkey, but I don't know, the rest of it kind of, yeah. How would you rate this one?
For me, I'd go 5 out of 10. Middle of the road.
It's not bang average. No, it is, yeah. It is. I don't want to say average, though, because it's sort of like, there's some clever bits in it. But yeah, I think you're right. I think 5 out of 10 is probably fair. That's a shame. It's a shame. I
agree. 5 out of 10. Missed opportunity.
Yeah.
The classic example of, look, if the story's not there, don't tell it.
Yeah. It is, considering he did so freaking well last year with that Long Legs. But, we're going to see more of him. This is more of a comedy, dark.
Yeah, I don't think this is officially just from him, is it? It's like
he did the screenplay. He did the screenplay for it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Maybe it is though the fact of James Wan stepping in. Maybe he came in and said, "Oh, it needs more of this or more of that," or style over substance, isn't it?
I just think it's a bit muddled. If he'd have gone full on for laughs completely, I think it would have been a better film.
But hey, look.
The laugh out of it.
I didn't really like the first Smile movie, but then they came back with Smile 2 and smashed it out of the park. So they may come back with Monkey 2. Electric Boogaloo.
Well, it's done 23 million at the moment, so that's pretty good.
We'll have another one, 100%. I see loads of people were getting sent the monkey in this like box, like loads of influencers and stuff online, and it literally works. It's so cool, really, really cool.
You'll never listen to I do like the Beavis Had the Seaside the same way again, I suppose.
Yeah, that was a random choice of a song, wasn't it?
It fit though. It really did fit. So that's kind of cool. All right, it's a shame. Just had high hopes for this one. Well, right. Moving on to our next one. We're gonna we haven't missed it. We're gonna go and look at Heart Eyes and get our eyes on Heart Eyes and see what the slasher's all about.
Unless something else pops up in the meantime, that's better.
All right, cool.
Shall we move on to our something to scream about?
What do you want from me? Why don't you run from me? What are you wondering? What do you know? Why aren't you scared of me? Why do you care for me? When we all fall asleep, where do we go?
Right, after Matt laying down the gauntlet for a lovely quiz we had, I thought I'd do another little bit of higher than lower and pit Matt against Paul. So, Let's see if this works. Let's see if I haven't
Let's
see if I haven't bodged this together. So I'm going to use the Rotten Tomato. I've been on the Rotten Tomatoes website. Okay. And I've got the tomato meter, which is the critic score.
I'm going to be so bad at this.
And the popcorn meter, which is the audience score. And I'm going to do 2 rounds. And the first round is going to be basically, is the tomato meter higher or lower than the popcorn meter? And that's all you got to do.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just a little quizzy. Right, I'll get a pen out and see if I can score this.
Are you going to give us a movie each, or are you going to say a movie?
Oh no, I'm going to give you a movie. So I'm going to give you a movie.
Yeah.
And then give you the tomato score.
Is the tomato score the critic score and the popcorn's the audience, or is it the other way around?
The tomato score is the critic and the popcorn's the audience. So I'm going to give you the critic score if you like, and then you're going to both tell me whether it's higher or lower than the audience score.
Okay.
Easy. First one we'll do is Brain Dead. So the tomato score for Brain Dead, 1992, I think it was, Peter Jackson, was 89%. So was that? Do you think that's higher or lower?
Lower.
Oh yeah, 100% lower. Popcorn will definitely be higher.
No, lower. I've gone lower.
The popcorn meter will be higher. Critics will be lower.
Is that what you're saying, Matt? So that's what I'm saying.
Critics at 89%, yeah?
The critics is 89%. So, Matt, you're saying that the audience score is higher than that.
I didn't think about that, yeah. Or, yeah, I'm going to go it.
And Paul, you're saying lower.
Yeah.
It is lower. It's 86%. Not much.
Not much. So, not much.
Okay, second one is Tremors from 1990. And the critic score is 88%. So we'll start with Matt. Matt, do you think that's higher, or the audience score is higher or lower?
I think the audience score will be, I'm going to go higher again.
Okay, higher than 88%. Paul?
I'm going to say lower.
Paul is right again. It is 76%. There we go. Third movie. Brilliant one, this. Army of Darkness. I think this was out in 1992. The tomato score, 68%. So the critics did not like this one. Did the audience like it more? Paul, is it the audience higher or lower?
Oh. Higher. Going higher.
Yeah, I'm going higher.
Both going higher. All right, well, that's a point each. Yep. The audience said it's 87%. Fucking good. Okay, moving on to Scream. We were like this one. Wes Craven's Scream. The critic score for Scream was 77%. So, Matt, was the audience higher or lower than 77%?
That's tough, but I'd like to say the audience were higher. So I mean, that's what I would look at it. So yeah, I'd say the audience has got to be higher, because this was a a game changer. So yeah, audience was higher.
Paul?
I'm going to agree with Matt. I'm going to go higher.
It is higher by 3%, 80%. Not that high.
Should have been higher.
77% by the critics, though. It's quite pretty low. Next, I'm going to go for a little Stephen King beaut from the 90s. Christine, the Chomping Car. The tomato score for this is 73%. So the critics loved it at 73%. So, Paul, to the audience, like it, is it higher or lower than 70%?
I'm going to go lower.
Lower, okay.
Yeah, I'd go lower, because I can't think it,
it's very niche.
Killer car, yeah.
64%. So yeah, quite a bit lower. All right, cool. That's round one. Well done. At the moment, Paul is leading by 2 points.
I haven't got one wrong yet.
All right. Someone spends their time on Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, the second round we're going to do, is it higher or lower than 50%? And we're going to stick with the critics on this one. So is it higher or lower than 50%? First one we're going to go with, Matt, I'll come to you to ask this, is Urban Legend. Remember that, Butte? So is the critic score higher or lower than 50%?
I'm going to go, because it was by then it's quite saturated with those sort of movies, so I think the critics would be lower than 50%.
Okay. Paul?
I'm going to say lower, but for a different reason, because it's shit.
Well, that would be the audience score, Paul, not the critics.
For the critics. Yeah.
But you're right. You're both right. It is lower. It's 30%. Okay. The second one, the critics score, we're going to go for on this one. No, actually, we're going to go for the audience score. So was the audience score higher or lower than 50%, Paul, for Candyman?
Ooh. Higher.
The internet wasn't around back then, Matt?
And this is for the not the critics one.
This is for the
audience.
score. Higher or lower than 50% for Candyman? For the audience?
I'm going to go lower, just to spice it up a little bit.
Okay, it is higher. Paul still hasn't got one wrong.
Internet wasn't around, but there were plenty of people going, if you look in the mirror and see it 5 times.
Yeah, true.
63% was. All right, this might be a toughie. Higher or lower than who's asking now? Matt. It's back to Matt, isn't it? They're going to go for the critic score on I Know What You Did Last Summer. Is that higher or lower than 50%?
Oh dear, I'm just going to go higher.
Paul?
I'm going lower.
Oh, it is lower.
Critics hate that shit, man.
47%.
I told you I was going to be shit at this.
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
And quite frankly, I don't care, because
okay. Well, we'll go for the one we're going to go see later. We're talking about in a minute, Wishmaster. So.
You sure you want to answer this question?
Was the audience score higher or lower than 50% for Wishmaster?
Lower. Oh, it's not my turn, is it?
Well, sorry. Lower.
Lower. Yeah, it was lower. It's 39%. The critics one was 25%, so didn't really... Poor critics back then. It's a shame. That's 1 point apiece. And the final one, the Blair Witch Project.
Ooh.
Okay. We're asking Matt, back to Matt. Was the audience score higher or lower than 50%?
Oh, that's got to be higher, surely.
Has to be higher.
Well, it is. But only at 57%. Whereas the critics loved it 86%. Interesting. But there you go. So, Paul won that. I had a tiebreaker. So...
Go on and do the tiebreaker. Whoever wins that wins the whole thing.
I thought you'd both do really well with that.
Tiebreaker.
I didn't get one wrong. I got 100%.
I know. Fucking hell. Okay, tiebreaker. Silence of the Lambs we're doing. Closest to the audience score.
65%.
82%.
The audience score is the same as the critic score for this one. The only one that I found was the same, and it was 95%.
Oof.
That is a clean sweep for Mr. Steve.
In your face, man.
I don't care, because there is nothing in that.
Bit of fun.
I have no shame over that. Absolutely none.
Well, that's Jolly Paul 2. The rest of you is 0 on quizzes.
Wanker. Yeah, well done, Paul. All right, there we go. Little quiz. We'll be back again with some to scream about, little treats here and there. Testing our knowledge on horror.
Okay, let's do our movie from the vault.
For centuries, he has remained hidden, watching, waiting. And now, he is coming. He knows your secret hopes. He sees your private dreams. And he can grant your every desire.
Well, I'm not a greedy man. How about $1 million? I remember a certain potentate whose last party was talked about for centuries. God, how I'd love to host a party like that.
I wish to be beautiful forever.
Even if it kills you.
As you wish.
Was it worth it? Would you like to escape death? No! Beg for your life.
Help me!
Pray for your soul. But whatever you do...
Ready to play?
Don't make a wish. Wishmaster. Careful what you wish for.
Okay, this episode's Move from the Vault is 1997's Wishmaster. A little bit of a plot for you. A demonic djinn attempts to grant its owner 3 wishes, which will allow him to summon his brethren to Earth. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, there you go. That's basically the plot of the movie. Some bloke from South Africa comes out of a little red stone, and yeah, craziness ensues. So what am I going to do? Okay, let's ask the first question. So have either of you watched this movie before?
Nope.
Yes, but could I the hell remember it? I've definitely seen it because I think I said it on the last pod. It was one of them where it was a trailer on one of the films that my older brother had got out from Blockbuster. And there's a bit, I'll talk about it, but there's a bit in the trailer where I was like, oh my god, that looks amazing. And we made him rent it off the back of that. But I rewatching it, I might as well have not watched it because I couldn't remember much of it, to be fair.
Okay. I have to say first, this movie was directed by the great Robert Kurtzman, special effects artist. So it stars an absolute plethora of main characters from many, many different movie franchises. We've got Tony Todd in there, Kane Hodder in there, Robert Englund in there, Andrew Divoff. It's got a fucking good... I think this was just like really, really fun to make. Wes Craven is up there who's presenting it as like, you know, James Wan presents The Monkey. So this has just got a lot of horror kudos attached to it. I just think it sounds like a bit of fun. So Paul, no, Matt, what did you think about this movie?
I think you should go to Paul first.
All right, let's go to Paul first.
Right, being kind, it hasn't aged very well, has it? I mean, I to be honest, Paul, this is, I'm being kind. I mean, there were some decent special effects in there, right? Of its time. But I just thought it was really hammy. And it felt just like a 90s TV show. Gone wrong. And they kind of like, the voice did my head in of the Jane. I thought the storyline was a bit crap, if I'm honest. I thought the acting was really bad. And I know you're saying about like a lot of them have obviously got horror chops and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I had a hard time with this one, if I'm honest.
Matt, what do you think?
Wow, I'm gonna have to agree to disagree. Oh. What the hell are you on about? That, like, literally, the opening scene of this movie is like the fucking A to Z of like how many fucking special effects can we put. I mean, yeah, look, I think the way the sums film up, right, it's got the best of the 80s, but the worst of the 90s. So you've got all the great creature effects and stuff from the like 80s and all that, and the real special effects, you know, practical special effects. And then you've got that horrible shit creeping in that like computer generated shit effects that admittedly are terrible, which we'll get onto later. However, I quite like this movie. I thought it was really entertaining. And I was like having people pop up from all different horror movies is like, right, I'm going to call down all the shots and get everybody in. And yeah, some of the acting was a bit terrible. And, you know, it might as well have been sponsored by fucking some cigarette company, the amount of cigarettes they were smoking throughout this movie. But the special effects were like awesome. I thought they were brilliant. I thought they were really, really cool.
I was really thinking that it was going to be one of those 90s movies that I would look forward to panning. But it adds so much charm to it in its hamminess. The hamminess that Paul's talking about is there, but it fucking worked on screen. Like you said, the fucking 80s-ness that came out of it in a 90s movie with the fucking shit. Though that shit era of like, almost, you know, like remember Terrorvision? You know, Terrorvision kind of did it better, I think. No, but there's like weird sort of almost 3D special effects they just
like the Lawnmower Man.
Yeah, okay, like the Lawnmower Man.
Those bits were worse than
bits like breaking glass and stuff like that. It just didn't, need it. Because the practical effects reminded me of stuff like Hellraiser.
Oh, massively.
It had a sort of almost like a Clive Barker vibe to it in terms of the way that they were doing the body horror, that opening scene with all the different everything
coming out of people and shit, man. It's like what the fuck?
It's like watching Society, some of the sort of weird, there's a lot of shunting going on and all sorts of weirdness going out there. And some of the deaths were just incredibly inventive. And I just thought just shows that they had Kurtzman at the helm with the special effects, because it just looked like so much fun.
Right, the thing is, though, at the start and at the end, yeah? That's what you're talking about, the two set pieces of the film, yeah?
I think it was throughout. Like, even towards the guy with the cancer, I just thought it worked. Like, I thought the Andrew Divoff as the Djinn, was fucking just so cheese on toast. But I fucking loved him when he was on. I loved the stupid way he spoke. I just can't go. I fucking loved it.
Free wishes.
Tell me what you want.
This one just works on a whole. It was it was cheese on toast, but such a good way. Honestly.
I'll tell you what, though.
The special effects were on another level, man.
Robert Englund was fucking brilliant. Like, he's so good. So good. Like,
he could act in V.
Right. But yeah, I mean, let's get on to the actual movie. So we've got this fucking Djinn that's stuck in this kind of, like, what is it, sapphire or something, that he's trapped inside, and then he finally gets out because they find it, because the old statue falls on one of the Raimi brothers, isn't it? It's
Ted Raimi, isn't it?
Ted Raimi.
That's it, yeah. And it falls on him, which I thought was great comedic.
Yeah, through drunken crane operator man.
Yeah, and so, and then obviously the ruby comes out or whatever, and one of the guys gets it and sells it, and then it comes to these kind of antique dealers, and one of the main characters. What was her name? Butch, you'll know the names.
What, the character name?
Yeah, what's her name? Alexandria. It comes to her, and some weird shit goes on, and she thinks she sees something inside it, so she takes it to her friend
Josh,
who has to die before she realizes she actually loves him.
Yeah, so he gets blown up because he tries to have a look inside it, but it releases the Djinn, and I thought that was cool. That bit was fucking weird, like this little, like, fetus thing crawling around the floor and lies next to him and shit. It looked really cool.
Yeah, it did, like something out of Hellraiser.
Yeah, completely. Like, reminded me, like, I don't know, that worm out of Poltergeist. You know, like the worm the dad pukes up or something like that. And yeah, so he kind of like the djinn kind of gets. And I thought the transformation was cool. How he just like transformation into the fully formed djinn was cool. So the premise of the story is, right, he has to get a load of souls, right, by getting them to wish. They only have one wish.
Yeah, and the wish is, you know, he's loose with the wish.
Yeah, so you have to be pretty direct with the wishes. However, the person that... Hang on, I'm getting onto that.
Oh, all right, sorry.
So what he has to do is get all these souls, so then eventually, with the one who released him, which is essentially her, gets 3 wishes. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, and then the sorts of wishes, like, let's take, for example, the bum outside the pharmacy that is just like, let's be honest, he's minding his own business. He's just looking through the store. And the store clerk has a right go at him. And then obviously the bum meets up with the djinn, and the djinn says, "Oh, what would you have done to him?" And he's like, "Oh, I wish he had like died of some kind of cancer or something like that."
This is the thing. They don't, that I loved is that he's that's what I'm saying. He's no fucking genie from the Aladdin. He's not about saying the word wish. You have to he just kind of, what do you want?
What do you want? Yeah.
What do you want?
He's a cheeky bastard.
Yeah. Do you want something to happen? And he's like, yeah, I like him to get cancer and die.
I'd wish for a better script.
Oh, how dare you?
Harsh.
But yeah, so and then he goes along and he's just like getting as many souls as he can while she's trying to, you know, she's trying to like solve the puzzle of what the hell's going on while smoking about 20 fags a minute.
And there's lots of stuff that happens, like, you know, the pharmacist, he kills somebody wishes for eternal beauty and he turns her into a mannequin. You know, there's the mortician as well.
Oh yeah, the eyes.
There's so much like
from Aliens.
Sorry?
The police dude from Aliens.
Police dude from Aliens.
Yeah. Frost, is it Frost?
Frost, yeah.
What was Tony Todd in it? Oh.
He was a security
guard at the end.
But before we get into that, can we talk about Kane Hodder?
He was a security guard. He wasn't going to let him in. He had a great mullet.
Yeah. But, like, literally, like, so you ain't going to get, it's like, you ain't going to come into the place to see the antiques dealer. Just turn around and go away. And you think, oh, he's got away with it. And he goes, yeah, I'd like to try and see you go through me. And he's like, okay then. And it's literally, I thought this is going to be cool. It's Kane Hodder, man. There's going to be some cool effects here or something. And it's probably one of the worst deaths I've ever witnessed with my eyes. Ever. Awful.
Yeah, I mean, he's literally trapped in glass and he just explodes. And that's
special effects glass.
That's the 90s special effects that they were sort of playing around with, which I imagine they were just like, you know, sitting in an editing booth, you know, going, "Oh yeah, look at this is going to catch on," and not sticking to what they know. But you know, why not? Bit of fun. It's like, you know, it's just a job for the boys. Yeah, and he's pursuing Alexandra's sister. He's being really creepy, and he's killed the fucking landlady, taken her face off, and all sorts of horrible, gory, bloody shit. We haven't heard from Paul once. He's been really quiet, hasn't he? He's just absorbing all this glorious goodness that this movie is.
In his mind, he's kind of winning it.
Fucking hell, they're right. Fucking hell. He's like, I've watched all these movies, and I'm like, yeah, I can't admit to them that they're right. Because, you know, it's just so cheese on toast, and it's so much on the other lines of all the, like, the street trash and everything else. It is trashy, but it's fucking good trash.
I'm actually wishing lots of fucking things in my head right now, so you used to want to be fucking glad there's no genies.
Honestly.
No, I enjoy listening to your enthusiastic talks about shit films. So carry on.
Oh, mate.
We haven't got the samurai men yet.
Samurai men. That was something like that. That's another thing as well. That was sort of almost out of Big Trouble in Little China. You know, they sort of had that sort of elements to it, you know? Bringing the statues to life and having to fight them. It was pretty weird. But the chaos, again, that happens at the party, you know? What does Robert England goes, I would like to have one of the most, I want to have a memorable party, and that's great. You can just catch on. And then she fucking outfoxes him. She's intelligent, she is. Because first she's like, oh, I want to see where you were from. In the end, she ends up in the fucking gym.
So that was really Hellraiser-y.
With the little fucking hell dog thing.
Yeah, proper, like, that was proper V sort of special effects, that was. V level special effects.
But, right. Yeah, so the chaos has ensued, and her final the thwarting of the djinn. I mean, do you guys want to say what she wishes for?
I mean, it's genius.
It's genius. Why didn't she think of that earlier on the first?
I can see what, I mean, you know, it's lame, admittedly, in terms of story and plot and all that sort of stuff, but it is genius from her perspective. I wish that Mickey the crane operator wasn't drunk, and therefore all the events wouldn't have happened, because nothing came out of the thing wouldn't got smashed on poor Ted Raimi, and the gym wouldn't have got found, and so nothing would have happened, and he fucks off. Yeah, but eventually we know that's the beauty of it, is the fact that it's still there.
What I kind of liked at that bit though, Butch, right? And I kind of liked it, right? And this is probably way too clever for the film it is, right? But what I would have kind of liked is that would have all happened, right? And then she saves the day by doing this, right? But as we know, whenever the djinn creates wishes, there's always an ulterior motive, or something else is going to happen. So I'd have quite liked it where the fact that, yeah, he wasn't drinking on the job, right? But that then meant that something else happened because of it. So she's fine, but actually he's not in the same way. Do you know what I mean? I kind of wish something like that had happened, but it didn't. So move on.
Hey, the deaths were elaborate, the gore was good, special effects were great, that were practical. And there's 3 other movies to enjoy, and 2 of them are on Amazon Prime. Wishmaster 2, Evil Never Dies. Wishmaster 3, Beyond the Gates of Hell. And Wishmaster, The Prophecy Fulfilled.
Wow. I watched number 2 straight after number 1.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
Because I started to, and I just ran out of time.
Dirty little man, you didn't mention that earlier.
A quick, really small synopsis, I won't spoil it, but the djinn goes to jail.
It's that one. Right, I need to watch it. I've seen
where he has to get 1,001 souls. Yes. Yes, you do see a man fuck himself.
Yeah, because I've seen that. I've seen that on some kind of fucking reels thing where he's like going around the prison and stuff. He's so fucking.
The first one was cheese on toast. You wait to the second.
Oh, I'm watching it this week. Fuck it. That sounds amazing.
Brilliant. Matt's facts.
You want some facts, yeah?
Well,
here we go.
It's first time that Paul's been so quiet on a movie for a long time.
I feel like, do you know what I feel like? I feel like I've gone back in time. Someone's made a wish to. I wish I was back at the start of when I was doing this podcast.
Come on, then, yeah.
This was one step too far. I just didn't get on with the guys' stuff. But look, I'm glad you guys enjoyed it.
That's it. I'm going to just go through 90s fucking shit now, and I'm going to fucking fill your head. And you know, because we did that with the 80s, Class Nukem High. We turned you around eventually. I don't know. Anyway, Matt.
Matt's facts.
Yeah.
So many crew members, including director Robert Kurtzman, man killed by piano, if you didn't notice. I did. I was well proud of myself. Had small roles in the film, sometimes appearing in different scenes as different characters. Mr. Butcher, we've met him as well, haven't we?
We have. I got. What did I get him to sign? I think he signed my From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yes.
Yes.
Great job. One of the statues in Raymond Beaumont's Robert England's room with the statue is the statue of Pazuzu. If you saw that, don't know if you recognised him. You missed it. He even comes to life at the end, and his tongue comes out and kills someone. Brilliant.
My brain had fell out my head at this point, mate, so sorry.
Oh, I thought it was brilliant. In the commentary on the DVD, it stated that while filming, someone had broken into the sets and stole all the cameras, even making it on the news. Was it you, Mr. Stevens? In your time machine? According to 2016 interview with Pop Horror, it took 3.5 hours to get into the costume with 1.5 hours to get out of it, according to lead star Andrew Divoff. He also said his favourite scenes of the film were the ones where he shared the scenes with his monstrous brethren. Greg Nicotero, we all know Greg Nicotero from Walking Dead and other films, is one of the special effects creator of Wishmaster. He also worked on the special effects in George A. Romero's The Movie Day of the Dead from 1985, where he played the character of Private Johnson. Joseph Pilato, who played the drunk crane worker, was in Wishmaster, was the main villain from Day of the Dead. He was Captain Rhodes.
Of course he was.
Yeah, let himself go. But I didn't spot that, but when I went back and saw it again, I was like, it is him. In the scene with the Djinn and Kane Hodder, Hodder's name tag in the uniform reads J. Voorhees. Don't know if you noticed that one.
Again, I didn't. That's great. That's fucking genius.
And director Jack Shoulder was approached to direct this film, but he declined as he felt the script wasn't very good. When it came to the sequel, he was asked to direct it, which he also turned down until the producers told him that he could write the screenplay for Wishmaster 2, Evil Never Dies, from 1999, and despite having to follow some basic guidelines, he could have creative freedom with the story. We'd like that one. There you go. That's Matt Smacks.
Budget of 5 million, made 15.7, so profit on that.
Tidy profit.
Oh mate, they're great backs. Great movie to watch. It was just so weird, and it's like 1997 was when I started to watch movies again. I just missed it. I always liked the poster. It was, yeah.
I'll be honest, I think I might have seen the poster and that actually put me off. Because I was like, it does look a bit like he's stepped out of like Power Rangers.
Yeah, maybe.
Like his little tentacles though. The little tentacles that kept moving. Very cool.
Okay.
But special effects, mate.
Yeah. Beautiful. Right.
Absolutely loads of them. And apparently it was shot in like something like 38 days as well. Ridiculous.
So we can't really say there's any deaths in it, right? Apart from the stuff at the start. Like the number of deaths because they're all rewound.
There you go.
Harsh. So, Mr. Steve.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't matter what you pick.
It doesn't matter because you're just over me. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. Okay.
3? Come on, man.
3
for effects alone, it gets about a 5.
You're fucking crazy, man.
I didn't like it.
You're on that.
Didn't like it. Sorry.
Well, on the other end of the scale, Matt.
Well, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a really good time. I had a blast. Loved the effects. It is terrible 90s cheese, but then it's got this lovable 80s charm to it. Robert Kurtzman's done a great job. He's pulled out all the stops, getting all those cameos. And I would give this probably, after watching it and looking at all the facts as well, I want to say probably 8 out of 10 for me. I enjoyed it.
Oh my God.
I'm going, right. It's an easy 8 for me. Yeah. An easy 8.
We've never had a disagreement like this for a while, like.
Yeah, I know. That's an easy 8 for me.
It's just a fun film. It's just like so crazily stupid. It's fun.
I just expected it to be full 90s cheese.
Yeah, I just thought it was shit. Shit.
But
that's it.
The fact that it's got all these greats attached to it that works so well, and just like, it's almost as if they just like, we haven't done anything with each other for a while. Let's just have it just felt so good. Yeah, and you could see the 80ness all over it. So yeah, it's an easy 8. Easy 8 for me. Yeah.
Wait till you see the second one.
All right then, Paul. What you got to come at us? You've done well. You've done well in your picks so far. So what you got? What's next?
Well, how do I follow that one?
Urban Legend.
Yeah, no, maybe not. Urban Legend 3, isn't that the Bloody Mary one? Is it? No, so I'm taking us back to the 80s, guys.
Well, we were just there. It was just a decade on.
Yeah, all right. I wish we were. So what is it? Yeah, so I don't know if you guys have seen this. I had to go back through the back episodes of the podcast because I was like, I don't know if you have done it already, but from what I saw, you haven't. So please, hopefully not. But 1982, and it's a lovely slasher film, and it is the film Pieces.
We
have not
haven't done that. No, we haven't.
This.
I do. I've got it on Arrow. I've got an Arrow, thanks to Matt.
So,
I've not even watched it yet.
No, mate, I've been waiting. It's been waiting for a pick, so this is the time.
There you go. Lovely Arrow. It's actually on Shudder, so yeah.
Yeah, I got no idea apart from a great title. So yeah,
I've got a little synopsis, mate. Co-eds of a Boston college campus are targeted by a mysterious killer who is creating a human jigsaw puzzle from their body parts.
I mean, this sounds great, right?
You hooked me in, hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, so I think it's going to be right up at least your streets anyway. So we'll give it a go.
Cracking. Oh, that was a lovely episode. Lovely talk. The Monkey, Wishmaster. Fucking great. I hope you enjoyed another episode. I think that was episode 175. So if you want to get us, you want to torture Paul some more, if you can find some lovely 90s goodness for us to watch, listen to the social media at the end and Matt will get back to you and we'll pick some more movies. Moving on to episode 176, it looks like we're on a bit of a lull, but we've still got Heart Eyes at the cinema, so I think we're going to go and watch that. And then Paul's pulled some stuff out of the bag for some scream about, and as well as that, he's pulled a move from the vault, which is 1982's Pieces. And there's only one more thing to say. When there's no more room in hell, here's another podcast.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
You can follow us on Twitter at DrawOneLast, Instagram at DrawOneLastBreath, or pop us an email at DrawOneLastBreathPod@hotmail.com.